Godzilla is considered one of, if not the most iconic movie monster to ever exist. And with the new information that Space Godzilla is the next villain for the Monsterverse's next installment, Godzilla x Kong Supernova, the king of the monsters, is trending once more. And I have decided to put Godzilla against another creature from the seas, Sharkjira, originating from the mobile game Hungry Shark Evolution. With a clear resemblance to Godzilla himself, I myself was curious on who would be the winner of this battle. Let's go over their stats and see who would be the true king of monsters. Before we begin, I would like to apologize for having this video extremely delayed for over a year. I've had such a lack of motivation to really make videos on top of family business. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Now let's begin. We will begin talking about Godzilla himself since he is the star of the video, specifically the Monsterverse Godzilla. Godzilla has gotten a pretty noticeable upscale really recently, but before those metas are talked about, let's begin on talking about this Godzilla's atomic breath, because unlike other incarnations of the Lizard King, Monsterverse Godzilla actually scales to his own atomic breath. We know this is true because during the battle between him and Kong, he is able to shrug off a head hit from an axe that was charged by his own atomic breath. This is important as we can finally start with Godzilla's line of scaling. Godzilla's atomic breath is stated to be the most powerful force of nature, meaning it should upscale natural disasters, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and hurricanes. The 1960s Valdivia earthquake generated a total energy of 2.67 gigatons of TNT, or large mountain level. Don't worry, Godzilla gets way higher than this, as one of the most relevant plots of the series involves him battling with the Muto pair's mother, the Muto Prime. Godzilla is actually confirmed to be more powerful than Muto Prime, and was only losing because of her abilities that counter his own, meaning Godzilla should upscale off of Muto Prime's own feats. This is crazy because according to one of the novelizations, Muto Prime is stated to rip the Earth's mantle at supersonic speeds. Doing this gives a yield of 2 to 15 exatons of TNT, or multi-continental plus. This is consistent with Godzilla's feat of no-selling an asteroid directly hitting him. This particular asteroid had ended up causing the Permian extinction event, which killed off 90% of all life on Earth. This impact also gets into multi-continental. For even more consistency, Godzilla is able to battle with King Ghidorah, who, being a Ghidorah, simply bumps the scaling chain of the verse. Like many incarnations of the three-headed terror, King Ghidorah bumps the scaling chain of the verse by a pretty good margin. Ghidorah and Godzilla are both relevant to each other's powers and should obviously scale to each other. This is important because King Ghidorah is stated to be a planet destroyer. Destroying the planet Earth entirely should generate 54 zetatons of TNT, or small planet level. Godzilla, being in those planetary ranges, is actually consistent, as Godzilla himself also performs his own planetary feat. This is the infamous scene where Godzilla shoots into the hollow Earth in Hong Kong. While the feat was originally only calculated at a abysmal large island level, Godzilla's atomic breath actually damages on a subatomic level. Because of this, the feat is bumped up dramatically, anywhere from moon level to large planetary. For even more planetary consistency, Mechagodzilla's proton scream is stated to have an energy yield over 2,000 times more powerful than Godzilla's in this instance, meaning the Mechanical Titan's proton scream is in the large planetary range of AP. This scales back to Godzilla, as he is still able to beam clash with the mech briefly into a stalemate until it had to pump more energy into it. But what's even more insane is the fact that Godzilla is stated to be at half of his full power when battling Mechagodzilla. So considering the fact that Mechagodzilla had to put more energy into the beam to knock Godzilla back, and all it gives him is a slight chest burn. Stack that onto the fact that he's at half power, and this would mean Godzilla at full power is approaching those dwarf star level ends. And he would actually get even stronger than that, meaning we can finally move on to his highest ends. Almost all of Godzilla's highest ends come from the Hollow Earth. The Hollow Earth's energy readings, according to GVK, is stated to have identical readings to Godzilla himself. For a baseline for the Hollow Earth's energy, in the show Monarch Legacy of Monsters, it's confirmed that small pockets of the Hollow Earth's portals give a total energy reading of 30 exahertz. So using this value and using the model of the hollow Earth in the show, the total energy the hollow Earth should radiate is 0.19 pho every second. This is large star level plus. Godzilla scales to this level as, again, he has identical readings to the hollow Earth itself. So now we have to go back to the statement of Godzilla's atomic breath, as this statement actually extends to the observable universe itself, with the universe's strongest phenomenons including gamma-ray bursts, supernovas, and supermassive black holes, with each of these phenomenons getting from large star to even multi-solar system level. There is also a calculation for Godzilla destroying one of these vortexes. The feat itself is also solar system level, but you can get Godzilla's power a little higher since this was before his evolved state. His evolved and supercharged forms have a 20 times power increase from the base form, meaning evolved Godzilla should actually have an atomic breath yield that scales to multi-solar system level. This is the highest the Monsterverse is going to get at the moment. For speed, Godzilla should easily be in relativistic plus to FTL range. Godzilla scales to Kong and Ghidorah, who on multiple instances can react to the atomic breath, which is composed of Cherenkov radiation. For his hacks, Godzilla doesn't really have any that are pretty notable, though one that was pretty notable was his atomic breath puncturing a space-time rift. That's it for Monsterverse Godzilla. A final recap on his stats should be as of the following. He scales anywhere from his low and abysmal mountain level, multi-continental to large planetary for a mid-end, and large star to multi-solar system level at the highest. He has relativistic plus to FTL combat reaction speeds. And finally, his atomic breath is able to cause a slight space-time distortion. With Godzilla done, we can now move on to Sharkjira and see what this creature has to show us. To get an understanding of how powerful Sharkjira is, we have to first understand the tiers of the sharks. These tiers generally show the power difference between sharks of each tier. Sharks that fall in a higher tier than the previous ones should have a one-shot gap over the other. Second, we have to understand who Sharkjira compares to within the verse. Sharkjira scales to Mecha Sharkjira. Mecha Sharkjira is implied to be the strongest shark of all. This is supported as the mech easily captured 3 apex sharks at once. It took multiple sharks, including Megalodon, Robo-Shark, Dark Magic Shark, and several other sharks to stop it. So Sharkjira has some pretty good inverse. So now that his place in verse is established, let's begin with his low ends. So starting with a really low baseline for Sharkjira, he should scale anywhere from small building level to multi-city block level. This comes from the fact that the small sharks and medium sharks are capable of destroying large barriers completely made out of bones, which gets to small building level. The large sharks are able to destroy metal walls, which gets into large building level. The extra large sharks are able to break apart submarines. This is another city block level feat. The XXL sharks are also able to destroy crystal formation barriers. This also gets into city block level. To get them into multi-city block level, you would just stack the 10 times power increase from the small sharks feats. Multi-city block level should be consistent as the large sea mines explosions get to the same tier of power. Every shark after the blacktip reef shark scales to this explosion, so already off to a decent start for creatures not even a fraction of Godzilla's size. But a massive jump in power is about to take place for the rest of the verse. For the next tier of power, we're actually gonna jump several tiers, as the next feat would be the great white shark eating the moon. Now this feat is very odd, as the moon we see is extremely small, but the game's own statements imply that this celestial object is in fact the moon. You can argue that it will be hard to get the accurate size for celestial bodies, such as the moon, into a mobile game. For the sake of this video, we are gonna say it's the actual moon. The sharks being able to eat the moon should overcome its gravitational binding energy, meaning the sharks scale to multi-continental. For higher ends, we need to go back to calculation stacking. Every shark up to Allen should upscale this feat by several varying degrees. Sharks on par with the Hungry Shark Evolution Megalodon should scale 10 times above this feat, getting to moon level. Sharks on par with the Hungry Shark Evolution Dunkleosteus would upscale that feat by 100 times and would be around small planetary. And finally, sharks on par with Mr. Snappy upscale the feat by 1,000 times and would be at least small planetary. This scales back to Sharkjira, as he's just blatantly above these sharks. For consistency, the Dark Magic Shark is stated to have lasers that can melt the moon. Melting the moon to literally no one's surprise gets to moon level, but there is one calculation that gets melting the moon to planetary. And speaking of planetary, we can talk about Allen himself. Allen is dubbed as a planet destroyer, which is what we see in the Hungry Shark comics. Allen ends up destroying Saturn. This feat gets from dwarf star level plus to star level. To get this power even higher, we have to do more calculation stacking. Moby Dick is 10 times stronger than Alan, which gives large star level scaling. Leo and Lord Snappy are 100 times stronger than Alan, which also grants large star level scaling. Nessie, Zamaharibu, and Aaron are 1,000 times stronger than Alan, which again grants large star level scaling. But this time they are almost on the edge of solar system level. Now, it's time to move on to the highest quantifiable ends for the series. The final feat with calculations I can share comes from Cosmic Alan. Cosmic Alan is able to create a black hole surrounding his body. This black hole scales to large star level, but if you take the name of his ability seriously and assume the black hole has the mass of our sun, it would scale to solar system level. All apex sharks and titan sharks, which includes Sharkjira, should upscale this feat. Since Mecha, Sharkjira's in-game can no-sell the black hole's power and can pierce it with their laser beams. All apex sharks can damage Mecha, Sharkjira, and thus upscale the black hole by at least 10 times. You would probably think this is where the attack potency caps at for Sharkjira, but it doesn't. It gets even higher from here. And to understand how it gets higher, we still have to look at Cosmic Alan. Cosmic Alan is actually stated to have the capability of destroying the universe, though this could actually extend to the entire timeline, as the terms universe and timeline are interchangeable. This is actually supported with other statements referring to Alans as universe travelers, when specifically referring to how they cross over from the Hungry Shark evolution timeline to the Hungry Shark world timeline. For some consistency, Cosmic Alan is stated to have unknowable power, which means he has power beyond human experience, understanding, or comprehension. In concept art, he's also stated to be the destroyer of the cosmos. Both statements would support Alan being a universe destroyer. All the statements should grant universal plus to even low multiversal attack potency. The next thing we have to talk about is the Quantum Shark. This is another apex shark. What's important about the Quantum Shark is that a developer for Hungry Shark World ends up stating that the Quantum Shark is supposed to surpass the Meltdown Shark. The Meltdown Shark, according to the game, is stated to have unlimited power, meaning every apex tier shark and Titan shark should be infinitely into the tier. There's an even higher end that includes a crossover, but I'm gonna save this for another video in the future. So for now, this is the highest Sharkjira will scale to. For speed, Sharkjira should scale anywhere from FTL to MFTL plus to even immeasurable speed. Sharkjira should be faster than the Great White Shark, the Megalodon, and Alan. The Great White and the Megalodon are able to reach the moon in a second, meaning they are traveling 28% faster than the speed of light. Alan is able to reach the planet Saturn in a very short amount of time, with the calculation getting his speed anywhere from 130 times faster than light to 4,000 times faster than light. As previously mentioned before, Alans are timeline hoppers, which should grant immeasurable speed. You could also try to say Sharkjira should compare to Behelmouth, who is able to physically rip apart space-time, which is also immeasurable speed. For Sharkjira's hacks, yeah, I think you get it. He has a lot of hacks. Here are the notable hacks he has: molecular manipulation resistance, space manipulation resistance, space-time destruction resistance, soul life force manipulation resistance, hypnosis resistance, and existence erasure resistance. Sharkjira's stats should be of such: for a low end, he should scale anywhere from multi-continental to planetary. For a mid-end, he should scale anywhere from dwarf star to solar system level. And for a high end, he should scale to universal plus to low multiversal. He has MFTL plus to immeasurable combat reaction speeds, with 5 useful hacks. So, between the two, who wins? Well, when it comes to quantifiable stats, Monsterverse Godzilla has an edge in just attack potency, specifically a 164,000 times power gap between the two, but Sharkjira scaling above majority of his verse, specifically Cosmic Alan, grants him low multiversal attack potency. He would also be infinitely into the tier due to the Meltdown Shark's statements. Not only does he completely outclass Monsterverse Godzilla in attack potency, he has an immense speed advantage over Godzilla as well. Scaling to Alan and Behelmouth's speed grants him immeasurable speed, as both are able to distort space-time for traveling. And for hacks, Godzilla doesn't have any helpful hacks that could stop Sharkjira. But what about Godzilla's forms? Well, his evolved and burning forms won't give him an edge anyways, as they still don't have any universe-destroying metas. So Sharkjira would kind of just end the fight in a few seconds realistically. So the winner of this fight is Sharkjira via a one-shot and speed blitz. If you guys want more power scaling content out of me, like and subscribe. This was one of my favorite videos to make. A quick shout out to the people on the screen, as they provided basically all the information within the video. See you guys next time.